You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. I don't know where the hell Envy's at.
Envy was in Boston. He didn't make it back. He actually was trying to make it back just because Pharrell was coming.
No way.
Yeah. And Pharrell walked in and said, "Thank you for having me." I was like, "Thank you so much for coming. We've never had Pharrell up
You
here
do
before."
realize most rich people, like really rich people, are like the most humble. The ones I've come across.
Well, I'm grateful.
You can't deny you're rich.
He's like, wow.
Pharrell, stop it.
Nah,
All right?
you know what? Listen, I'm grateful, man. Seriously, I am grateful because we get an opportunity to talk about the film, and you guys have been like so supportive of like my career all these years. So I'm always.
We're gonna get to the film. We need to get to your diet tips first, okay?
Okay.
I need to know why the hell you have not aged in 20 plus years. How much water do you drink a day? Matter of fact, what do you have for breakfast? Let's start there.
You know what? This week is not so good because what I like is man, why am I talking about this?
Because we want to know why you're not aging.
It has nothing to do with it. It's just,
good genes.
lots of water.
God.
My mom and my dad, I really do believe in like exfoliating though.
I do. I go see. I do.
I believe in that too.
I go to the dermatologist.
I believe in
yes.
that.
I got some good exfoliation stuff at the house.
Yeah, when I was when I was much younger, like all the model girls used to talk about that a lot.
Have you seen the meme that showed you from like 15 years ago to now?
It's hilarious.
And even your hairline, bro?
You seem a little jealous or something.
I'm not jealous. I just want to know. Like, share the secrets, my brother.
No, there's no.
Hairline's definitely hereditary. I don't think there was. No one can help your hairline.
Yeah.
Are you vegan? You're not
It was
vegan,
so
are you?
quick. It was so So it was so quick.
You're not vegan, are you?
Nah.
Okay.
No sir. But not a lot of like red meat and pork, like a lot.
I don't eat red meat or pork either.
No, I said a lot.
Oh, I don't eat it at all. So.
Yeah, no. That short rib, it has to happen every once in a while.
You are from Virginia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's the film? Hidden Figures.
Hidden
I'm
Figures
excited for this movie.
Oh, thank you. Hidden Figures is this movie that I was blessed to be a part of and work on with my producer partner Mimi Valdez. She took a meeting with Donna Gelati, who talked about several projects, and then when she talked about this project, Mimi was like, "Oh, he's gonna go crazy about it." And the reason why is because you have 3 African-American female protagonists, right? Not talking about divorces or consoling each other or like burning up the Range
Or getting
Rovers.
beat by their husband.
None of that.
Yeah.
Although I like those movies too sometimes.
Look, love.
Waiting to Exhale was a great movie.
Listen, with love. But these were 3 female African-American female protagonists who were scientists, engineers, mathematicians, technologically advanced. So that blew my mind. It involved NASA. It involved space, 2 subjects I was obsessed with since I was a child. And then like it happened where I'm from, Hampton Roads, Virginia, in the 1960s. So how could we not be a part of it?
So
Were you
Mimi
familiar
knew
with it?
automatically that you were going to want to do that. Oh.
That was like,
Go ahead, G.
No,
No,
I'm saying
which one?
Mimi knew automatically that you were going to like that. And shout out to Mimi Valdez. She used to be
Yes.
editor-in-chief of The Vibe
yeah,
back in the day. I didn't know she was...
and Latina. Yeah.
She was working with you. But
Yep.
yeah, so she knew automatically when she sat down, he's going to want to do this.
100%. 100%. Her instincts were 1,000% on.
Were you
And-
familiar with the story?
Here's the crazy thing. I wasn't familiar with the story, but I met Katherine Johnson because we have an organization called From One Hand to Another. Does like tutoring on an academic level, after school programs, and also summer camps. And it's largely based on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And so we had this African-American astronaut by the name of Leland Melvin come speak to the kids because, I have BBC. So like they would be like talking about the T-shirt. I'm like, no, you don't understand. This guy has actually been to space. Like forget the helmet. This dude has actually been in space before.
What's up with
several
that T-shirt
times.
though? That's what they was thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And we, I'm just like, listen to this guy. He knows what zero gravity feels like. So he actually brought Katherine Johnson 6 years ago to one of our events and introduced me to her. And of course, I didn't know the backstory. So fast forward 6 years later, we have the meeting, and I go to tell my mom about it thinking that she would be excited that, I'm actually producing my first film and it has to do with space and, it's Hampton Roads, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah, but what's her name again? I'm like, Katherine Johnson. She's like, oh yeah, you met her. And that was like crazy. That's when you realize that like there are no accidents, no coincidences, and no mistakes. Like everything is meant.
What I love about it is a story that most people have never heard before.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Katherine was a mathematics savant, and it was her math that enabled John Glenn to make it in his orbit around the Earth in 5 hours, three rotations around the Earth. Like that's unbelievable. And that was her math. 1 degree off, meaning 1 decimal off, and he would have went out into the continuum of space forever. Right. Or coming back in, he would have burnt up and not made it through the go, no go. So the idea that we get to participate in this story and telling this story, and I'm telling you guys, like, if you see the film, it will make you feel better. You'll be upset that you didn't know the story, but
that's what movies are for, though, because a lot of people don't read as much as they should.
Yeah.
And if we don't introduce these stories to, especially the youth, they'll probably never know.
Yeah. Well, they were all, these women, it was Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. Their stories were like muted because they were victims of the circumstances and the era. Being African American, we would get our just due in terms of our accolades, but we weren't really we didn't really collect on them like that.
You think it was by design that they didn't put people of color in those positions, like in front of the camera, because it would kind of maybe encourage kids to want to do that?
I just don't think it was a part of the American narrative at that time. And women. So women had it twice as hard.
That's why this is perfect timing, by the way, for a movie like this right now.
Yeah, because there's so much
women.
Yeah,
everything that's been going on lately, in particular.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of gender bias, and there's still racial bias. Like it's severe. To me, it's crazier than it's ever been because there was no internet in the '60s. Right now, it's like really, it's like undeniable.
It's scary though because you don't know how much of it is real and how much of it is false. Because you think about your everyday life, like you interact with different types of people all the time. I don't experience overt racism. I don't think I've ever experienced overt racism. Probably, I'm sure I experienced it covertly, but never overtly.
Well, because we're on the coast, right? In the middle of the country, like it's real.
But think about even in the music business. Yeah. It goes on so much. Yeah. I think I feel it all the time as a woman.
You never felt it, Pharrell. All them hits you was making?
Well, look, think about it. I mean, they have to call you the N-word to be racist, or to. It's a much deeper conversation, right? Like, we work in a business where like it is okay to own other people's masters. That's insane. Yeah. That's like you owning my ID and telling me when I can and can't cross the street and when I can eat and when I should pay my taxes. And That's the business that we're in the music industry. That will soon change, by the way. Everybody should own their masters. If major labels want to do deals with artists to partner with them, great. Partner with me, but don't own me. You're not, trust me, that, those contracts, they tell you that they want to own the master and then every copy thereof is a slave. It's real. It's in the contracts.
Right.
Yeah, that needs to change. But we're here to talk about Hidden Figures.
I always feel like you was using your music to get to space, though. And what I mean by that is that was just like an outlet for you to do bigger things and present bigger stories like this.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, although I will not be going to space.
I was going to ask you
You wouldn't go to space? You, Pharrell? Come on, stop
Man. Have you ever watched the Science Channel?
Yeah, all the time.
Man, the pixelation is amazing.
Listen. I am intrigued by UFOs. I'm obsessed with them. Everybody in this room tells me I'm crazy because I believe in extraterrestrials.
Oh yeah. Well, they're probably not doing the math. Okay, so when you first consider the fact that our sun is just another star, you know that, right? Our sun is just another star, and all those stars that you see out there, they're essentially suns, and there are planets around them. They're just They just now have the technology to start to see those exoplanets.
I just think it's selfish because if you look at Earth and how diverse Earth is and all the different various forms of life in the Earth, well, it's the sky, underwater, and jungles, and the woods, like, why wouldn't the universe be just as diverse with life?
No, it is. It's insane for you to assume that there's only this one star is the only one that has a solar system around it. The rest of those stars all have like planets around them. So what does the math tell you?
People from other planets.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what do we know? Right? We swore out that Pluto was a planet. Right? That's no longer
all our life in school. Pluto's a planet. Now it's just a moon, no, a star. What is it? What do they call it now?
I think it's a big asteroid at this point.
Now, Virginia is like a hip-hop outlier in itself because you got Missy, you got Timberland.
Geniuses.
Teddy Riley.
Genius.
Like, what's in the water? Like, where did all those producers come from? Like,
there's definitely something in the water in Virginia. You got Drum, too. Like, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. Knots. There's Chris Brown.
Trey Songz, Pusha T.
Yeah. D'Angelo. Pusha T.
Like, y'all controlled sound.
Clips. Fam. Listen, man, you know what it is? But Virginia didn't have much. And so I think, exercising your creativity was just kind of like a great outlet. Envy was down there. He was down there when all of that was happening. Hampton U was on fire. Man.
He might not have never been a DJ if he didn't go to Hampton.
My goodness. Some of the most beautiful, beautiful women.
Have you always been like the eclectic type guy you are?
Always a weirdo.
So did you
It just makes sense now. But I mean, for me at least.
Yeah. Did you ever face resistance from like, the Pusha T's and those guys were like, I don't want to work with that guy.
No. They were always supportive.
But I feel like you're more of a trendsetter.
No.
Because you don't think so? Because I mean, clearly people want to look like Pharrell.
Nah, that's weird.
He being fake humble.
Like you.
He being fake humble.
You have clothing lines.
He's being fake humble. He knows.
No, not at all. This is not fake awkward either. It's like real awkward. Just saying. But can we go back to
yeah, let's go back to the movie. You scored how much of this movie?
Pharrell, nobody talks about what you're actually here to talk about anymore when you do interviews. The PRs didn't tell them?
Okay. Sorry. Okay. You guys drive.
No, go ahead. Hidden Figures.
He's like, back to the movie.
You got some more to tell us.
I am really excited because I actually saw the trailer like a while ago. And I was like, this movie looks going to be great because Taraji P. Henson's in it.
Kills it.
Yes. Janelle Monáe is in it.
Kills it.
She's so fun.
By the way, Octavia Spencer's in the movie also.
Kills it.
So some of my favorite people are in this movie.
Yep. Mahershala Ali, Kevin Costner, like really talented, actors. Really, really talented. And I say actors because sometimes women don't like to be called actresses.
You're supposed to say that's the politically correct thing now as actor.
But this is such a special time for it to come out because I feel like there's so much gender bias. And when you think about it, like a lot of the female contribution in science and just across the board has been largely ignored and like dismissed, and things are changing now. Like it was actually women that discovered the metric in measuring how far stars are or what they're made of. They're made of hydrogen. Those are women.
I don't even think in school they encourage women to get into the sciences.
No, they
or
don't.
Into math or anything. They don't really encourage that.
They don't. They don't. And you think about it, like these were 3 African American women who in the 1960s were savants. Like Catherine was a savant. The math that she had in her mind like superseded the crazy matrix that she lived in, that male matrix of like where you only hear great things about men. Somehow those numbers superseded not only that time, but it went on to help John Glenn, rest in peace, to make it out there in the orbit and to make it to the moon. And they even say, we talk about Mars rovers and being on the planet Mars right now, but she was very instrumental. Her math was very instrumental and integral to us making it to Mars in 1976. Like it's insane what she was able to do. And there's a scene in the film where she needs to use the bathroom, but because of that time, because it was segregated, her bathroom wasn't on the other side of the building. It was on the other side of the campus.
Damn.
And so NASA, they were civil. They had like campus bikes, but that was for a man, because as men, we forget.
Right.
You couldn't.
We have something to hold our urine in the right way.
Well, not only that, but like riding a bike.
One wrong bump.
No. Well, a woman could not wear pants or shorts.
Right.
She had to wear long dresses and long skirts. So
It's hard to ride a
women,
bike with a skirt on.
women couldn't ride the bike there, right? So as an African American woman, you had to run. Catherine had to run a 30 to 45 minute round trip, rain or shine, just to use the bathroom, just to relieve herself. So it's crazy.
You speak a lot about gender bias. You think gender bias is the reason Hillary didn't become president? Because you endorsed Hillary Clinton earlier.
I think that gender bias played a part in it. I think that I don't think that the country, I think they knew the difference but didn't appreciate the difference between reality shows and like real news. As we see, fake news is a huge thing. I also never believed in like the system of polls. I thought polls were like antiquated. It's 1,200 people at a time, and millennials don't answer house phones. So to me, I always thought it was antiquated. I think the news got it wrong. I think the news is responsible. I think Twitter is responsible. They could have easily just pulled the plug.
Social media, period.
Yeah. And I think that like, I just think there just should have been a different game plan, man. There should have just been a different game plan.
Do you think she was a terrible candidate? Because every time I say something like,
I think she was qualified, but
okay.
I think that like the tables have turned, and I feel like people look at politics like they look at any other television show. You got to entertain, and that's what happened. That's what happened in one case, and that's what did not happen in the other. You know, it's like social studies and like catfight. What you gonna tune into? Yeah. Right? And then there's also this other thing that's around the world right now. There's this very divisive wind where they're the entitleists who have, you know, sort of basically ran the earth for a couple hundred years. You know, they feel fear. So when you feel fearful, what do? You start to stick with people who look and sound and act and talk just like you. And then y'all galvanize. And while everybody else thinks it's a joke and thinks it's going to be okay, you know, there's a lot of people that sat out that didn't go out and vote. And so we're all
we took it for granted. We thought it was a shoe-in.
Man.
What do you think the fear comes from? I listened to a TED Talk about this. I wonder if you're in the same vein. What do you think the fear comes from?
Technology and FOMO.
Fear missing out.
100%.
Okay. I thought you was talking about like white male authority feeling threatened.
Sure.
And feeling like their existence is being threatened.
But I can't just say white male anymore, right? Because is that the only people that like, the only demographic that voted for him? No.
Women, which was shocking to me.
Women, but not only women, black men, Hispanic men. So I can't say that anymore.
Gotcha.
I can say the chauvinistic thing, you know, because there's certain people that just aren't ready for a woman to do it. But I personally think women and millennials will essentially be the larger number that ends up saving us in 4 years.
Why do you think that?
Because women have compassion. They think about the world. They birthed the world. The whole entire world came through the conduit of a woman's body.
True indeed.
Women consider that. So even the people who like say things that we disagree with on the chauvinistic tip, a woman carried that man too. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like it's gonna be that, and there's gonna be men that'll be in the number, but I feel like it's gonna be women and millennials.
I remember you said that Hillary's dishonest, but so are you. So I remember thinking, so is Pharrell willing to deal with liars all the time, or just when they're running for president?
Who don't lie, bro?
Yeah.
On some level, who don't lie?
Somebody who's
like,
been in
listen,
politics as long.
Yeah.
There's no way that you would be perfect. And
no, I'm the most upright standing, whatever way you want to look at it, because they both have two different definitions, but it means the same thing. Listen, who is that honest with their taxes?
Whoa,
right. There we go.
Whoa.
There you go. Done.
Hey, IRS, I'm very honest with mine. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, are you willing to sit down and fact check? Because they'll find something that there's a little gray line, a little gray area. There's a gray area for everybody, right?
I wrote
and some
these
people
clothes that I bought, but I didn't really use them for work. Like you know, certain things. You might not even have all your paperwork properly in order, and you just say, okay, I'm going to guesstimate this is what I spent.
100%. Listen, look, they won. It is what it is. Now, but here's what I will say. This pressure that's going to come about is going to make the best art, the best music, the best design, the best fashion. It's going to be amazing. That's the one good thing. Well, that's one of the good things that'll come out of it. The other thing is you'll see more people galvanizing. You'll see our culture galvanizing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Governing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like Jay-Z said, government, F government, we politic ourselves. I think we got a little bit away from that during the Obama era. I think we started to lean too heavy in the government just a little bit.
Yeah, we did. He did the best that he could. I just felt like I wanted him to be a little bit more of a rebel because that other side wasn't trying to help him. They won't. They was getting their game plan together.
You couldn't do anything.
They was getting their next Ronald Reagan, next Arnold Schwarzenegger together.
Is that why you being more vocal now about these kind of issues?
No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm telling you, I was mad, bro. I was like mad.
Like after the election?
No, before it.
Okay.
Nobody was listening. I'm like, yo, stop listening to these polls, man. These old ass people, man, they old, bro. They old. It's an old antiquated thing that worked in the 50s and the 60s when part of the television show was to show you Colgate in the middle of the show. That's when polls worked. Okay? It's old. Them people is old, bro.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how you've managed in this business for so long to be really just, it seems the appearance of it is that you're very level-headed. Like we see all these artists going through different things and, struggling with mental issues, depression. They talk about it in their music. They talk about it in interviews. But do you think that coming up in the era that you came up in where we didn't have social media, we didn't have the pressure of people being able to just directly reach out to you, do you think that's been negative for artists sometimes? And how have you managed to
There's no
maintain your
college
cool?
course. There's no college course for how to manage your money.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in this business, when the lights are flashing and everyone's looking and it's so many competitions that are unspoken of, but there are. You're just in constant competition to flash harder, perform harder, do bigger numbers. Like there's a lot of pressures, right? And the thing is that these companies they don't. It's not like in football where they have they actually sit down and have you take a course and what to avoid and people to stay away from, and they don't do that in the music industry. Mm-hmm. This is the most abused industry ever.
They said Berry Gordy used to, when Smokey Robinson was here, he said Berry Gordy would have artists every week. They had these training classes. It didn't matter how big you were.
Yeah.
Everybody had to come,
yeah.
To his house and do these training courses. I thought that was brilliant.
We need that. And there's some really nice and brilliant people that are in the music industry right now. But we need more of those people to be empowered so that they can continue to empower the artists.
Well, shouldn't guys like you be doing that? Because you're empowered, Pharrell.
I'm doing my best. Any artist that signed with me will own their masters.
Who do you have signed to you now?
Shout out to Bia. She's been doing incredible things. I saw her at the Latin Grammys performing. She got songs charting just internationally.
Yep.
She was on Sisterhood of Hip Hop.
Yep. Yep. Bia, Cap G, Buddy, out of Compton.
Oh, Cap G, he's a Mexican rapper.
Yeah. He got the song called Girlfriend.
Yeah, he do. I like him.
He cold.
It's crazy at the production thing though, because it was like you was red hot. Then it was a moment where we ain't hear nothing from Pharrell,
mm-hmm.
and then it's just like you just came back and owned everything.
I ain't do nothing.
Stop it.
I just worked, and it's the universe too. It's the universe and the people. I mean, a lot of people will be like, yo, I did this, I did that. Let me explain something to you. No matter how hot it is, it requires people to be into it. They got to buy it. They got to stream it. They got to tell their friends about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pay for that. So I don't take any of that for granted. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I'm here based on doors that were open for me, based on artists that worked with me, inspired me, based on fans that continued to lift me up, and the universe, God, the rest of it, that's a prerequisite. You're supposed to try to be your best, but that doesn't guarantee any kind of success. That's you have to talk about the people that got you here.
I always want to talk to you about the record Snitch, man, because I feel like that's the second greatest hip hop acronym of all time.
Whoa,
just come on, easily. But it didn't get the credit for whatever reason. But I think it's Cream, and then I think it's Snitch.
Well, thank you.
You don't think so?
Thank you. It was inspired.
And Pusha said you made it. You created that.
Yeah. How
though? Because you weren't.
One of our guys got locked up.
Okay.
Yeah. His manager was one of our guys that we grew up with. He was he was in that world, and I didn't even really talk to him, But I just was thinking like how he must have felt. He's an Aries, you know, like me.
Yeah.
I know. You're like, what does that have to do with anything? But in my mind, I'll be like, man, I know what I'd be thinking.
Sorry, nigga, I'm trying to come home. I'm telling. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would. 100%.
I would too.
What do you mean? What? Not what? Is there a question?
No, listen now.
I don't have a
I
question.
always say, don't do around me. I'm telling you.
Me too.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
you-
built for it,
but
bro.
you're not
I'm
doing
not built
anything,
for all
though.
the chin up. No,
What if you was out there doing it with them?
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
You
it.
don't have to do that at
I
all.
don't want it that bad.
Word,
Yeah,
absolutely.
listen, certain people have it in their chemistry. They have it in their DNA. They're warrior, like they got it in them. I don't have that.
I'm going to do this 30. I'm a real nigga.
No,
All right.
no,
Okay.
no. 30 minutes in the gym, bro. Yeah.
Did you ever go through a period of time where you felt like you didn't want to do music anymore, or you were just over it?
You know what? When I first got on, the deal went left, and I had a really, really, really dark time. And my aunt, who could used to have like really strong dreams. Dreams are in my family. Dreams and like people can see and they prophesy and you know. And I had like a real tough time and I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more because it was so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We had gotten signed to EMI and then the label folded. You know, so like a dummy, you know, I brought my first, you know, car. It was a Lexus GS, and I was driving around. I ain't had no gas money. I ain't care because it was just kind of like, look, I'm a backpacker and I have a Lexus.
So was this a publishing
Like
deal or a...
No, it was like a record deal.
Okay.
And then the label folded, and I was like so down and so depressed, and I had gotten so caught up. And my aunt was like, "Listen, this is what the devil wants. You know, if you give up right now, you don't understand what's on the other side of this moment." And I never forgot that. She's gone now, but yeah, that was like a really dark time for me. I mean, we have those periods,
Right.
man. As artists, we have those periods. We need that. We need some thunderstorms sometimes so that we can appreciate when that sunshine come back.
Have you ever had a dark period while you were in the industry? Like those times when we don't hear from you and labels may be like, oh, Pharrell, you're not the sound of the moment. Or, you know.
I would, yeah. But that would only like fuel me. There was one time it was like just really dark because you want it to be a certain kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when you have to let go. When you let go, then the universe sort of shows you how you're supposed to do it. You know, I always thought like, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. And I've just been proven wrong every 5 years. Like, okay, cool. All right, let me just shut up. And now I just go with it.
Do you try to keep up with the times? Because it doesn't seem like you do.
I-
Do you listen to what's on the radio and be like, you know what, I need to make a trap beat? Or
Or like, who inspires you now?
situations, conversations, movies, and I just make what I feel like feels fresh and a little different.
Mm-hmm.
That's always my thing. Whenever I've tried to like fit in with something, it's never worked for me ever. So I'd rather just make different things that sometimes work, sometimes they don't.
Where's the rest of Nerd at?
Shay's in Miami at the moment, and Chad is in California at the moment.
Does Chad still make music?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
But he just works. He just does things his way, whatever way he wants to, and we're just incredibly supportive of it.
So when y'all do stuff like Happy, what was the big Robin Thicke record? I forgot now.
Blurred Lines?
Blurred Lines.
Yeah, he didn't work on any of that, but
Wow.
but we still work together
Do you run things by him or?
whenever he wants. Man, you know what it is. I let him do things on his time whenever
Gotcha.
I don't let him do anything. I'm just happy to collaborate whenever he's really ready to do it. He's a genius.
Was it always planned for you to be like the Beyonce of Nerd? Like,
That was weird.
no, I'm saying, you know what I meant by that. See, there you go that's the gender thing. Beyonce's bigger than gender.
She's Beyonce.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
a compliment.
It is, but when the point was pointing me out to be that makes me feel awkward. I'm everybody.
You're not Michelle. Stop it. And I love Michelle.
That's supposed to be your friend. Why
It
you always
is,
do that
but you
to
know
her?
what I mean. Like, he's the front man of the group. You think Nerd, you think Pharrell.
Wow.
Well,
Well,
you think Destiny's Child, you think Beyonce.
I know I shy away from that, the leader thing.
Right. He's like, I just do what I do. We do what we do.
Yeah.
But
Thank
doesn't
you.
come a
Thank
point
you.
where you
Thank
have
you.
to embrace it as a man because you are a leader. You do have influence. People
Nah,
do
bro,
follow
we
you.
getting back to the awkward thing
Yeah,
again.
don't you think, look, what Pharrell does works for him. It is what it is. He doesn't have to change and be all,
But there had to come a point where every great leader had to know, okay, I'm a leader. What am I going to do with this great power? What am I
There are
gonna do with
people in this
responsibility?
room that I do not need to hear this. Okay, who are loving this right
Is
now.
it the beautiful Caucasian woman sitting on the floor
4th of July.
First of all, this is the first. I've never had somebody come in and have anyone sit on the floor. Why is she sitting on the floor right here?
because you didn't have to bring her a chair.
Oh, she's part of the interview? Oh. Is she a shooter, Pharrell?
Kinda.
Well, somebody needs to get shot.
Kinda.
So leader.
Man, come on, bro.
What do we do now?
Advisor.
Advisor.
I'm so happy to be that.
How would you advise people now that Trump is in the White House and tensions are at an all-time high?
Recognize that there are power in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Get used to your new Pennsylvania Avenue.
Oh, that sucks so bad.
I don't even go in that area, period. Ever.
Yeah.
Think about how ill that is. The president lives by the Gucci store.
Right. It costs us $1 million a day to protect him.
Wait, does the Gucci store
It's
still make
right
money
there.
there?
The Gucci-
Any of those stores still make money now?
I don't know. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I was
don't
told
know.
that they don't.
Probably not.
Okay, cool.
That's awful. I don't go in that area at all. If I
Look,
do, I
man,
have to
you
take
know
a
what?
chair.
I ain't got nothing against nobody.
Mhm.
Here's what I will say. It's us now. It's us. No
Yeah.
more me. Turn the M upside down. We. It's our time. It's French time.
Mhm.
We have to galvanize. We got to see the power in numbers. I'm telling you. And women, man, like, we need you. And y'all got to stop hating on each other. Like, you don't understand. That is, man, they won because we did not stand together. And none of us are perfect. Everybody up here is flawed.
Mhm.
Everybody lies. Like, they just, look, ain't nobody perfect. But when you recognize the strength in numbers, like, you could really do some amazing things. You really can. And when you don't, you're going to see that other side continue to do what they're doing because they stuck together.
I'm glad you keep stressing women because I got in trouble the other day because
Yes.
I said it'd be really dope if women of color created a platform
Yeah.
where they could have a voice to control their narratives like the young chick Tommy Lauren is doing.
Well, she didn't create that platform, but
But she's used Facebook to get her voice out there even more.
Right.
So they came at me 100 miles per hour, but I'm just saying, look, I understand how powerful women of color's voices are right now.
and women
Right.
of color have a lot of platforms. It's just the fact that
Yeah, but I'm talking
it's-
about as far as news,
not supported.
like news. We need an online news network. How you talk about false stories and
Yeah.
fake stories?
Yeah, by the way, look, I'm so sorry, but man, we need those platforms to sort of step up. They help make this.
Mhm.
They help create this situation. They didn't really police it enough.
Yeah.
They didn't, and there's a lot of them, And the other side was just really smart. They were smart about it. They were like, hey, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna get involved. They're gonna just continue making their money on their advertising, and they did that.
Well, let's get inspired and see Hidden Figures because I know it's going to be an inspirational story for a lot of women of color, a lot of people in general, even men, to let you know that you can't do anything.
Yeah, it makes you feel better. It makes you feel better about yourself. I've women crying, men crying. It's been amazing. This
makes
is an
people happy?
uplifting story. I know this was a very heavy conversation. And
No,
I
it wasn't.
hate getting into like politics. I hate it
Why?
because won't nobody listening.
They are. You got to stop. You got to stop having that mentality, man.
No,
they
man.
will listen.
No, man. I'm an angry black
They've been
man.
listening to you for 20 years.
Angry
Pharrell.
black man.
No,
Angry
you're
black
not.
man.
You're an
Samuel
angry Native American.
Samuel Jackson.
No.
Right now. Right now.
They will.
That's
listen
how I
to
feel.
you.
That's what's
Well,
going on
this is
the
you
inside.
angry then. I mean, I don't
No,
know.
you don't understand. It's tempered. I've been working on this. I've been working on
You went to
this.
therapy and stuff?
No. But I mean, listen.
I've never seen you angry, Pharrell.
Well, when have you
Like,
seen Pharrell?
like
really?
happy.
How much did I used to just break and just go full ass wild leading up to this whole entire thing?
What had you so heated? Just the fact that nobody could see the evil, or they were.
Did you
endorsing
guys
the
have you
evil?
guys ever seen the disgruntled Dallas Cowboy fan?
I am
He's
one.
one of them.
Not this year, but yeah. My father was one. My father actually
He got
tased
tasered.
somebody at
Yeah,
a
he
game.
tased somebody.
He tased somebody at a Cowboys-Jets game. He tased the Marine on 9/11 in MetLife Stadium.
I need that footage.
Yeah, it's footage. It is. It's online.
I need that
About 4 or
footage.
5 years
Sad
ago.
when it
Yeah.
happened.
No, disgruntled fans are everything to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I like watching them.
So you were a disgruntled Hillary fan, I guess? Let it go, Pharrell. Just one time. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, now you're taunting me now? You know, that was another time I was frozen in the awards ceremony. I had to let it go.
What happened to the hats, man? You don't wear the hats no more?
Nah, man. That was like 3 years ago.
We evolve.
Yeah. Shout out to Vivian Westwood.
Well, Pharrell, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And all
and then please go see Hidden Figures. It's gonna make you feel good, makes you feel better. Man, you see these women like soaring. You see them just ingeniously just, you know, saving the day in so many ways.
And even the actors you have playing these women are phenomenal women in real life too. So
yeah. Octavia Spencer, Taraji Henson, you know, Janelle Monáe, they're amazing. And there's an incredible, there's like 20 to 30 colored computers that they would call at the time, a department of
colored computers.
Yeah, colored computers.
Why? Because there was black women at the computer?
Well, because they didn't really trust the machines. So the computers at that time were still human beings.
Yep,
so you were computing. And because they were black, yes, they were colored.
I kind of feel like that's kind of interesting because I feel like that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Because you just saw what Denzel said the other day. He said if you read the newspaper, if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read the newspaper, you're misinformed.
Yeah, sure.
So it's kind of like that now. You get online, you can't really trust what you're seeing.
No, it's wild.
What's the fakest thing you ever seen about yourself online that you read this story and you was like, this didn't even remotely happen at all?
I block those things out and don't really give it much credence. So I wouldn't know. I'm sure. What, Amanda? Okay.
Amanda's the greatest PR ever. She's like, I don't remember anything bad.
Yeah,
nothing bad. I don't remember nothing.
That's what makes him look so young. He don't stress over that.
I mean, you can't, man. You just read wild shit.
And exfoliate.
Wild stuff, sorry.
Yeah.
Pharrell, thank you. All your cool ass awkwardness. All right.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
When's
and man,
Hidden Figures coming?
Yeah, December 25th.
Okay. Christmas Day.
Yep. And then January 6th and January 13th, hard launch. And then the soundtrack is out now, I think. It's out today.
Okay.
Yeah. Mary J. Blige, Layla Hathaway, Janelle Monáe. Am I missing somebody? Huh? Kim Burrell, Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's flavorful.
Oh,
Kim Burrell. Dude. Just do me a favor. Play the Kim Burrell record twice. Just it's the only thing I ask. Back to back. Don't reintroduce it.
Okay.
Just play it back to back.
Is it an R&B song, gospel?
It's gospel. But
Kim Burrell.
it has 808s in it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, can we play it? Can we play it now?
Yeah, please.
Right.
It has 808s in it. And I'm so excited because I know that happens in their world, but this is like real Kojic, you know, it's like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But it feels good. It makes you feel like you can.
I figured out who you remind me of. He reminds me of you, except dirtier. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover.
Genius.
Yes, y'all got like the same type of vibe.
That guy.
Except you shower.
That guy, wow.
No, he doesn't. He admits he did.
Wow.
He did not say he doesn't shower.
Oh, when he was here, he had a smell to him, and I was like, yo, you got a smell, and he was like,
no, it was because he was wearing the same
going through some
sweater
artsy
for
thing.
a few days.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. He reserves the right to wear something for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, it was his good sweater.
That television show, phenomenal.
Amazing.
Atlanta,
His album is genius. That you got to give it to that guy. This guy's a television show and an album. Both are just as fire.
And I just watched his stand-up comedy. I never saw that before. But you're right. He does have like that awkward.
He reminds me of you. Like he's from the fruit of Pharrell. Every great artist produces fruit, and I feel like he's from the fruit of your tree.
Man, listen, that's super kind of you to say because he's really talented. But I don't know what y'all are doing here, but you got to turn him up. You got to turn Childish Gambino up. Like you got to serve like. You
think radio still has that place? I don't know if radio still has that place. I think like the internet
you just got
the
to
internet
be.
does that.
Yeah, but you know what? It won't have that place if there are no rebels in the building. Like you got to be rebellious about it. That's what makes people like listen and tune into something. Is that rebellious nature? I mean, Howard Stern is who he is for a reason, right? He not only foresaw the new president-elect. You didn't like that joke? Okay, cool. But I mean, he says things that like people think when they're driving to work that other people won't say.
Right.
Right? And you guys got to do that.
That's how I feel about radio. I feel like we can amplify voices. I don't know if we necessarily create them anymore. So
Nah, turn them up, bro.
All right, Pharrell's got to go.
Yeah,
They've been trying to wrap
the
it up.
young Caucasian on the floor is saying, let's go. That's what she's there for, I guess.
I love that she's letting you slide, calling her white over and over and over again. I love
You're
that.
not white? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I would call you your name before I didn't introduce you because he's rude.
It's Amanda. It's Amanda Silverman.
Hey, Amanda Silverman. Nice to meet you.
She's
Oh,
like,
that's Amanda Silverman.
yeah,
Okay.
the Amanda
Hey,
Silverman.
That's the Amanda
I
Silverman.
don't know what
by
that
the
means,
way.
but I'm thinking that she's important.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody's important.
Everybody's important.
Everybody's
Come on
important.
now.
You said the killer earlier. He was like, yo, you got she's a
shooter?
killer?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's a killer. Sniper.
Got you. Well, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Pharrell, for coming by, my
Thank
brother.
you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Hidden Figures in theaters December 25th. It's The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in